Hello, everyone. My name is Samer Kamal, and I am the head of growth and marketing here at Arch. I will also be your host for the webinar today. And for this webinar, I'm very, very excited. We have one of our customers, Vertex Partners. I'm very excited to dive into the session, talk about the challenges that they ran into, how they utilized Arch to solve them. But before really diving into the session, I wanted to give you a little bit of background about Arch. You probably might have not heard about Arch, but I bet you did about Meltano, one of the most utilized data integration and movement tools out there. That's really how the company started. I'm sure Taylor will be diving into that in a little bit. But some stats about the Meltano and Arch: 5,000 community members. We are very thankful to everybody. We love you, all the contributors to the community that made really Meltano what it is today. 600 plus integrations. A lot of those are made by this community. And we have thousands of deployments at this point, from very large enterprises and known brands to highly regulated government entities to even smaller companies that are just kicking off and they need a simple tool. And this has been amazing, but what we really embarked on for the last few years is Arch, and really taking Meltano to the next level, build an end-to-end data platform and analytics solution that really is viable for commercializing and really has all the requirements that a business needs from a compliance and security standpoint, the support that it needs. We'll dive again into all of this. The company has been in incubation for several years in GitLab before rolling it out now and becoming independent. And we're thankful for all our investors, Venrock, Google Ventures, and many others. And really, how the way that we see it here at Arch is it's not just about the platform, it's about the journey. It's the platform and the people, or really, as you see here, the birdies that are around this platform. We really like to think about, the data challenges that companies have, big and small. It really is a data journey, and we like to meet them where they are, whether it's really kickstarting this journey, accelerating it. And we see it as a multi-phase journey here, starting with Arch Data Ops, which is really the bulk of this conversation is going to be about. And then analytics, after collecting the data, integrating it and processing it, comes analytics, where you define the metrics and get more insights of that data. And capitalizing at the end on all the recent innovations in AI and Gen AI with Arch Intelligence. And really, having the data not just work for you, but work with you. With all of that said, let's get into it. Happy to introduce our speakers today. Let's start with our customer. Kevin, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Very good. Kevin, if you could please introduce yourself and a little bit about, the amazing background that you have and a little bit about Vertex.
Sure, yeah. So I'm the senior manager of data engineering at Vertex. I am the first data hire at Vertex. So I'm kind of a jack of all trades at Vertex. Is what led us to Arch with some of the data engineering help. But previous to Vertex, I spent about 4.5 years at Amazon, starting as a business analyst, business intelligence engineer, which is like an analytics engineer, and then eventually into a manager of business intelligence.
Very good. Thank you, Kevin. And thank you so much for doing this with us today.
Yeah, of course.
All right, Taylor, if you could please give us a little bit about your amazing background and what you've been up to recently.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks again, Kevin, for joining us. So yeah, my background is in chemical engineering, actually, but coming out of grad school, I jumped into the data field, and similar to Kevin, actually was basically the first data hire at both of the companies that I've worked at. So in Nashville, worked at a genetics startup, led the data team there and kind of grew the foundation, and then went over to GitLab, where I led the data team there as well, as the company was getting ready to IPO in 2021. We incubated Meltano as an open source project internally, and then spun it out as a new company, this company Arch, in 2021, and been incubating the platform as Samer mentioned. And so now, yeah, founder and CEO of the company, and doing great things with our customers and partners.
Awesome, Taylor. Taylor, if you could maybe dive into like the thesis behind, what you saw out there, speaking with tons of customers, I know you do every day, and what made you decide, this is what we are needing to build?
Yeah, there's a couple of things. So Meltano was born out of my experience as a practicing data engineer. Meltano is a more technically focused tool for data engineers at larger companies who want the benefits of the software development lifecycle in their data platform. So it has kind of best practices built in from version control, isolated dev environments, testing, all that fun stuff. And it's a very much a power user tool. With Arch, we see that there's an opportunity to bring the power user capabilities to organizations of all size, but not requiring them to have these massive data teams, because that's something that's usually out of reach for a lot of different companies. So we feel that there's an opportunity to work with companies at basically any stage, give them the benefits of having an excellent data team and data platform, but not require them to spend gobs of money to actually make that happen. So it's really about broadening the capabilities for a lot of businesses and bringing those positive outcomes of what having a high performing data team can do within their business.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So maybe we can pivot to Kevin for a little bit here. Kevin, if you could just walk us through some of the challenges. It's amazing. You are the first data hire. Vertex is a well-known private equity firm out there. Talk us through some of the challenges before implementing Arch.
Yeah, some of the there's a few challenges. One is deciding what data stack you want to use, because there's so many vendors out there. There's so many decisions that can cost a lot of money once you get going with them, or it costs a lot of money if you ever want to transition away from them. So Arch provided a lot of stability there, and kind of having a stack that we could go into. And the other decision is, we have some data sources that are very well known, like QuickBooks and Google Ads and all that kind of stuff. But then we have other stuff that's very specific to Vertex and it's being a roofing holding company. There's certain data that's specific to the roofing industry that just hasn't been really modernized into having a lot of these data pipelines built in the past. So those are kind of the two challenges: some obscure data pipelines, and then just having a productive stack that we can fall into.
Very good. So when it comes to, I think a lot of the challenges that you mentioned, a lot of people probably will resonate with them, frankly, private equity or not. What do you think makes, your job special? Everybody thinks their job is special, but what do you think, working with all the portfolio companies, collecting the data, from them, how does your day-to-day go and the challenges that you go through there?
Yeah, I think it's a special place because not many data analytics and data-driven decision making has been put into the home services industry in general, especially in the roofing industry. So I feel like a lot of my job is education about how business intelligence tools can be utilized in helping understand their business, knowing where their efficiencies are, knowing where they can improve. The other part of it is, the data quality aspect of it. So some of these portfolio companies that we have don't have even a CRM system that they utilize. They're still a paper-led business. Some are very more tech-enabled, having CRM systems. So a lot of it is the education of, hey, what you're putting into the CRM system, I'm seeing as a result in the data that's being output. And if we want to have accurate metrics that you can actually action on, we need to have, standard procedures that are followed in collecting that data.
Yeah, I'll jump in here. I think one thing that's super interesting with your role, Kevin, is you're not just the data hire for Vertex. You're essentially the data hire for all of these portfolio companies as well. Yeah. And that's something that we saw in the market. A lot of these modern data stack tools are really good for individual companies. But they really start to fall over when you have a situation like yours, where there's a whole portfolio. Maybe you're running a similar pipeline dozens of times. This kind of multi-tenant view is just not seen anywhere else in the market in a lot of these tools. And so that's one thing that we've tried to bring is can we, and we built the platform that makes it easy to manage kind of all of these pipelines. But I think it's you maybe don't want to toot your own horn a little bit, but you're a data professional for well more over a dozen different companies, so it's a very impressive.
Yeah. I think that's kind of the value that we saw with Arch, is that we're able to replicate a lot of the data pipelines. All these different tenants that we have, portfolio companies, have similar data pipelines, but in a more traditional data engineering role, it'd be replicating all of those pipelines over and over and over. Where utilizing a platform like Arch is couple clicks of the button, and it's replicated, which is very nice for a one-man show trying to manage all of these companies' data.
So speaking of this one-man show, I know that you realize also the professional services, and the expertise that we have. Here at Arch, we talk a lot about that lack of data expertise, that a lot of companies, frankly, don't have the expertise to go and utilize all these overly sophisticated tools that potentially an enterprise, is able to do and bring in such expertise. How do you kind of balance between having a tool, and then when do you say, okay, this is the time that I need to, not pick up the call, but Slack, the Arch team, and I need their help with something?
Definitely. I mean, I talk to Arch all the time. I really, my background was more in the analytics engineering piece. So some of the like data engineering best practices, I'm not as like well skilled on, and I really lean on the Arch team to provide guidance in that. So not only are they providing me a service by building data pipelines, but I'm also asking them lots of questions on security of the data that we're using, ways that we can make it more efficient, alarms that we can do for data quality, things like that they have the expertise in it. So I've really enjoyed that aspect of working with Arch, having someone that's more skilled in an area that I'm less skilled in.
That's great to hear. I'm sure you have something here to say.
Yeah, I think we definitely enjoy it as well. For us, having built this platform, and over half the team at Arch are former data professionals, data engineers, data analysts. And so we bring a lot of that experience both to the work that we're doing with our partner customers, but also to the platform. Every time we're working with folks like Kevin, we learn more about what the platform needs, and the same engineers that are doing the professional services are also building the features and making the platform better. And it just makes it more efficient for everybody all around, because we're implementing a known stack, and we've aligned on kind of the metrics and the data model that Kevin needs, and we know how to go and quickly do that. So we're accelerating both our customers, but also our product development, because we get to be so close to the problems that people are facing every day.
Great. So if I could double click on that, Taylor, I know you think about this all the time, and you share your thoughts, with everything that's going on with AI automation, taking a lot of tasks, these, manual or tedious tasks, to AI. You come from data, you've seen large and small teams. Where do you feel like, in reality, what is coming that we can, think about with Arch Intelligence and the team is working on, that could be coming, to Kevin's help and everybody else?
Yeah. So I view AI as this massive accelerant for a lot of the work that we're doing, and for the work that our partner customers are doing. One of the things that really struck me when we engaged with Vertex and everybody there is they're a very people-focused company, and I know they're proud to say that, and we are as well. So we don't see the AI capabilities as eliminating a lot of these roles. It's really about accelerating what is already in place, and the folks that are on the team. We're building features into Arch, and we have built features that are about accelerating the development of all of these different pipelines, the metrics, the models, and it really is, how can we make the people that are doing this work better, more efficient, and allow them to do the work that is better suited to humans, which is engaging with other people. So we're generally just very excited about the AI blooming, but we don't see it as, hey, this you're going to ask a simple question, you're going to get everything you need. Good AI still needs good data foundations, and that's what we're providing with Arch.
Awesome. So Kevin, hearing a lot of this, I'm sure, your superiors, they bring you a lot of things that are out there in the market about AI. You are in the here and now, you want to solve today's problems. How do you view, does any of this resonate? Anything else that you feel like is something that feels like it will make your life easier with all the AI hubbub out there?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, AI is an accelerator for anything you're doing. I mean, when I was talking earlier about even some of these businesses being like paper businesses prior, I mean, like OCR models is an obvious use case for digitizing a lot of their historical, sales and production metrics. LLM, obviously, having the ability that a salesperson can ask a chatbot a question, receive an answer about whatever the lead time on supplies or whatever they might might need to know when talking to a customer. So there's lots of use cases, but I really want to hit on the data quality piece for Taylor. I mean, AI is not useful if the data is not accurate that it is analyzing. So at this stage for Vertex, we're really focused on having really strong data quality, implementing really strong SOPs with our data collection in order to advance into some of these more AI like focused solutions when we're ready.
Very good. Good. Thank you, Kevin, so much, for sharing your thoughts and being here with us. Taylor, anything else that you'd like to share with the team, with everybody else listening?
I think the one point that I did want to strike is especially as we talk about AI, that there's a lot of excitement around that. What we're focused on as a company is like you mentioned at the top of the webinar, is meeting companies where they are and kind of helping them accelerate their journey. Any business that is making money is going to be having basically an Excel spreadsheet. Like that's kind of the state of the art for a lot of companies, and that's totally great and that's fine. And we want to help people accelerate their efforts there and move beyond even Excel, or if they're happy in Excel, having the strong data quality underneath it. So everything that we're doing is about building a platform that works where you are today and helps you go to where you want to be in the future. And it's just incredibly motivating for me to work with folks like Kevin and different businesses of all types to accelerate along the journey.
Excellent. Thank you, Taylor, for sharing your thoughts. And definitely, Kevin, we really appreciate your time with us here. Everybody listening, thank you so much. If you have any thoughts, please, don't hesitate to reach out to us. Arch.dev is our domain. And, feel free to also contact us via email, sales@arch.dev. Thank you so much and have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.